Welcome back to Project Reworked. In this episode, we make a unicorn bookcase for my granddaughter Ruby. Now, I found this design online through Etsy, and the cost for this item was way over $3,500. And I don't think that included delivery. Now, I love my granddaughter, but not that much, so I decided to make one myself. Hope the build inspires you to make your own. I first start by making a pattern. Sorry, I forgot to video this bit, but basically I divided the original A4 picture into segments and then redrew each segment onto a much bigger sheet made of lots of A4 pieces of paper to enlarge the image. Once the pattern was complete, I measured the length of each piece of wood and also worked out all the angles using a protractor. It was a little tricky getting all the angles correct, and we had to fiddle around to make some of them fit. With all the pieces cut and nailed into position now, we fill the gaps with no nails to strengthen and hide any sightly holes where the joints weren't perfect. A quick sand to smooth down some of the sharp edges and imperfections. I use undercoat paint as a barrier to prepare the wood. It's surprising how long it took to paint, but I had to use tiny brushes to get into all the nooks and crannies. I'm using acrylic craft paint from Bunnings. Unfortunately, it only sold the pastel colours I like in small tubs, so I had to buy 2 packets. I would have liked to buy oil-based gloss paint really, but the cost for small pots was ridiculous and they said they couldn't make all the colours I wanted. But I plan to varnish the bookcase to make it more hard-wearing. The craft colour paint is thin, so it takes a lot of coats to make a good covering. The pink tail section, I used 2 paint tubes for that, and really it could have done with a third. We traced the shape of the unicorn bookcase onto a piece of plyboard and used the jigsaw to cut out the shape. This is going to be the background board to the bookcase. It will help with the stability but also stop things falling down the back of the unit. I'm painting the back colour of the bedroom walls because I want the unicorn shape to be the main focus. I'll attach it later when all the final painting has been done. I used spray varnish as recommended by the lady in Bunnings, but I'm not sure it was good advice. It was easy to use on the flat pieces, but to get into all the small places was a challenge. It gave a nice coat and shine on the coloured tail and mane, but on the white body in some places the varnish pooled and left a mess. What was annoying, according to the can, it's clear varnish, but it left the white paint with a honey tone colour. Unhappy with the finish, I decided to rub the white paint down and give it a coat of oil-based gloss. I don't know if you can see the difference in colour between the varnished white and oil-based gloss white, but it was quite a big difference in colour. Only the unicorn's horn to go. So I've bought this from Bunnings. So this is going to be the unicorn's horn. We were going to make it as a 3D, it's a flat shape according to in the original picture that I borrowed from the internet. It has a horn that's shaped like that. It's a triangle, but it's flat. And I didn't like that because unicorns don't have horns like that. So I wanted something that was proper horn shape. So we happened to be in Bunnings and
we saw these legs. So this is really a table leg. And so it's got a flat bottom. But the actual cone shape itself is just ideal for being a unicorn horn. So I'm going to try and round off the end a little bit. I don't want it to be pointy because obviously if my granddaughter falls on it, I don't want to impale her. So I would just want to round it off just enough to make it not look like a blunt end and a chair leg. And then we'll paint it. I still haven't decided whether to, because a unicorn horn, even though they're not really, have like twists in them. Some of them do anyway, if you look at them. So I'm not sure whether to use that as a paint thing and make it into a swirl to paint it, or whether I can try and make lines in the wood to make it look so it looks like it's sculpted in and out. I'm worried that if I do that, I might ruin it and then I'll have to go and buy a new one. So yeah, painting might be a better option maybe. But anyway, first of all, I want to round off my end to make it more horn shaped rather than chair shaped.
After a quick rub down, the table leg is starting to look more of a horn shape. I give it a couple of coats of white undercoat. Now I had originally planned to make a swirling pattern on the wood, but I didn't like the finish, so I rubbed it down and repainted it with an acrylic blue craft paint. It took 3 coats to give it a good finish. To make it more magical, I painted a thin coating of acrylic blue glitter paint over the top. I purchased some gold cord from the spotlight to make the swirling pattern. To hide the ends of the cord, I drilled 2 holes either end of the horn and glued the cord into place at the top and swirled the cord around, and used the hot glue gun to stick it into place before finally gluing the final end piece into place in the pre-drilled hole. Doesn't look too bad if I don't say so myself. When we cut the shape out for the back, trace the shape of the unicorn on the other side so we can see the different cross sections to make it easier to attach to the unit. I drill a hole through the unicorn's head. Don't worry, it didn't feel a thing. I screwed on a washer and nut. Ta-da! All finished. Now, if you're interested with the costs, well, the original was retailing for $3,628.84. And I managed to build the unit for less than $350. Majority of the costs were wood at $150. The wood glue was just under $40, though I do have a lot of leftover for other projects. The acrylic poster paints were $13.98 each, and I used 2 packs. The white oil-based paint was $54, but I still have 3/4 of a can left. There was the glitter paint, which was $12.94 each, and I only used 1 packet. The wooden table leg, obviously that was $13, and I only had 1. Craft paint brushes, there was an assortment of those, and that came to roughly about $10. I hope you enjoyed my craft project. Please leave a comment and do the usual like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It certainly doesn't make me anything, but it does make me smile that people like what I'm creating. Until next time.